Lost Ark Removing Genderlocking, adding personal islands and Battle Royale in the next patch in Korea. Smilegate may not yet have made any official announcement regarding a Lost Ark launch in the West, but some interesting developments in its Korean version are seemingly paving the way for such a move. The Guardian raid will get a new challenge and trial difficulty. Challenge and trial difficulty will be much harder than the normal difficulty, characterized by the item level or equipment, such as stats do not apply. In addition, the first team that successfully defeats it and the team that succeeded in the shortest time will be registered in the Hall of Fame and are given a special title. Why limit yourself to a house like in other MMOs when Lost Ark lets you have an entire island? And just in case you thought the trend might slow down in 2020, think again. There will also be a Battle Royale Island, where the goal is to survive the threat of dinosaurs and become the last person. Genderlocking is a standard part of many Korean MMOs, so the fact that Smilegate is looking to remove it in Lost Ark could be a major sign that it's preparing for a Western release. The following features are also included in the next update. New Dungeon, Gate of Paradise, Deep Sea Dungeon and Guardian Raid Boss Arcadia. Leaderboard, Hall of Fame, rankings for several contents in the game. Affinity system update, after the current faith affinity phase there is now an affection phase. Naval expeditions with your NPCs. Photo mode, free camera to use for videos, screenshots. Life skill and naval exploration revamp, life skills are shared between characters now, sailing becomes much more rewarding with new activities. And many more. In total, the next update contains 22 larger changes. On January 20th, PvP-oriented MMORPG Albion Online will launch its biggest update since the game was released in 2017. Titled Queen, the update will bring the new Hideout system that lets guilds operate in underground bases within the Outlands. An entirely new faction, the ancient Avalonians, will also be added to the game. Players can fight against them in the new elite randomized dungeons for powerful week-long buffs and Avalonian shards, used for crafting the game's most powerful artifact armor. This update, the largest since the game's launch in 2017, brings a complete rework of the Outlands continent, giving players of all types and levels a chance to compete and thrive in Albion's high-level zones. Hideouts allow guilds to live and thrive in the Outlands by choosing their own place to live in the open world, and open-world territory battles, in conjunction with the new Crystal League, allow guild members of all levels to contribute to territory ownership and season rankings. Astellia Online Update brings legendary dungeons and spidery events. This update introduces the next pair of legendary dungeons, the Dimensional Library Basila and the Haveli Mansion. The game's getting a lot more busy with a couple of fun events. The Dog RV Crescent event includes a special dungeon, while the Taking Care of Pimpy event tasks a dozen players with fighting a giant spider on behalf of a cute little kid. There may be a glimmer of hope for Astellia's future, as the company is hiring more community managers for Europe and vowed that next on putting an end to publishing the game in Korea wouldn't affect its position in the West. MMORPG Tycoon 2 lets you make a pretend virtual world all by yourself. It is a single-player game about building the world's greatest MMORPG. You as the player will design and operate this virtual world that would contain nothing but bots going happily about their adventures and exploring the landscape you made. Take charge of a full-sized MMORPG world and fill it with monsters, towns, NPCs, and quest chains. Design the player classes for AI subscribers to use, and keep them entertained. Design the monsters, balance the combat, and keep your subscribers happy and playing so that you can cover your server and bandwidth costs, all while building new regions for your players to explore as they increase in levels and power. Craft the terrain, lay out scenery to make your world beautiful, raise new land from the seafloor, the world is yours to craft. Design the appearance and the combat abilities of your game's player classes, monsters, and more. Buff and nerf classes are your win. lay out villages and towns, roads, questing areas, and even individual quests with quest chains to keep your subscribers busy. Demi is a free-to-play online TCG with battling pantheons and online card trading, now on Kickstarter. The object of Demi is to gain 20 followers to win, which is condensed into a winning score of 20. Decks can be built with a minimum of 30 cards up to a maximum of 60. There are several types of cards. Creature cards, which are separated into gods, demigods, and monsters. Prayer cards, which offer beneficial effects for the player. Worshipper cards, which effectively work to block monster attacks. Vayne cards, which apply negative effects on an opponent. And Titan cards that provide field-wide boosts. Gaining followers is done by directly attacking an opponent, playing certain cards, or when god or monster cards destroy one another. Think of it like the opposite of damaging a health pool, where damage dealt increases your followers instead of lowers your opponent's health. Demi will also introduce an auction house where people can sell their unwanted cards to others for Demi Gold, a paid currency which can be used for cosmetics like holographic and foil effects for cards, avatar items, and more. Speaking of the game store, players will be able to purchase card packs from the store, though those can only be purchased by winning matches and earning silver. The estimate is 10 wins will get players enough for a new card pack.